Hey, what's up guys? Chad here with the Reptile Rangers. Now we're at the Kernersville Reptile Zoo and Medical Center again today, and we're going to show you actually unboxing a venomous snake. One of several that we brought in over the last little bit as far as putting on some of these, or in some of these new exhibits that we've been building here inside of the zoo, some of the custom exhibits. And this guy right here is going to go in this one. And now, this was going to be the Squam, or the Atheris species, known as one of the more popular vipers. Before we get into that, right here in this corner is the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button. We appreciate you doing so and following along week after week after week. Well, let's just go right into this. Now, Nathan, one of our volunteers, one of our guys, went to the Hamburg, PA show and ended up finding a few things, and then we ended up also finding another couple of vendors that we know and breeders that we know, and we've brought several animals in here of late. One of the animals that we brought back, or he brought back from the Hamburg show, was this green Squam, and then we ended up having one yellow Squam shipped to us, which is what you're going to see here. See us actually unpacking a yellow bush viper. It's the yellow variable bush viper from Africa. So follow along and just watch us basically unpacking this thing, and we'll show you and talk a little bit about him. Let's go. All right, guys. So Nathan gave us a helping hand here. He did found a couple of new venomous snakes that we've been talking about putting on exhibit. He's been doing some of the legwork on finding some of these animals, and we put in an order. And he just went over and picked it up from Delta Airlines, and so we're gonna show these guys. Nice looking little yellow bush viper. So we're gonna see what happens and how they look here in just a minute. Okie dokie. Now, Sebastian, give me a couple of hooks, please. Now, every once in a while, you'll have these things get out of the bag. I mean, generally speaking, I'm not going to say who we got this from, because if they don't turn out to be a good purchase, then they're not going to get a very good review or a very nice phone call. Ain't going to be pleasantries, but that's okay. I mean, these guys come fairly highly recommended. Never purchased anything from them before, because generally speaking, we don't have to. We do a lot of breeding of this stuff like this, or we just have it seized and brought to us. But every once in a while, whenever these guys pack it up, I mean, they do a pretty good job packing stuff up, but you can have a snake get out of the bag. So unpacking these animals and opening it up is always a good idea, just to be precautioned with lifting the lid, just to make sure that nothing has gotten out of either its snake bag. All right, very good. So these guys did a good job, at least in this part. They bagged it and they boxed it. So each one is done individually. They weren't just put in bags and just stuffed in there. All right, guys, so here's the bush viper, really popular snake that's kept in captivity, called the Squam for short. Now, let's see. I'm going to try and see if I can get this little guy to kind of hang on to the end of the hook. Come here, kid. Come here. These are an arboreal snake, so typically speaking, they don't generally want to go flying off the end of a hook, or they don't want to do anything but wrap themselves around a tree limb, essentially. He's trying to figure out how to hold on, so let's see if we can get him over here. That's a pretty beautiful yellow bush viper. See if I can get it up close to the camera. There we go. So here's the variable bush viper. All right, so this is the Squam, the yellow Squam. It's called the variable bush viper because they can come in quite a few different colors. Absolutely awesome snakes. Really, really popular. Very popularly kept within inside of the venomous community. Relatively, I'm cautious to say relatively non-toxic. I mean, they are very toxic, but there's only been 2 or 3 confirmed deaths to a Squam bite. There is no antivenom directly made just for the Atheris species. So with that being said, there's no direct anti-venom directly for this particular species. Now, these guys are from Central Africa. They're not a very, very long species by viper standards. They're incredibly widely popular throughout the venomous community and the keeping community. There's yellows, there's greens, there's reds, and then there's a mixture of some of the colors as well. As far as the diet of the squam, these guys typically eat primarily mammals, of course, like most of your decent sized snakes do, venomous and non-venomous. They will eat other things such as lizards and other types of prey. Their venom is a hemotoxic venom. They do have long, mobile fangs in the front, what we would call long moving fangs. They can independently move their fangs. They're not short fang fixed like the elapids, and they're not rear fang like the colubrids. Their fangs are a little bit longer and do kind of fold back into the mouth, so to speak. There is no pit or divot that those fangs go down into, so they do fold back into the mouth and then come out as these animals bite. They're called keeled-scaled. As you can see, let's see if we can get the camera up here a little bit further for you. All right, for this little guy, this rough scaling, or what looks like raised scales, is called keel-scaled. They're smooth-scaled. Most of your cobras are going to be more smooth-scaled. A lot of your, for folks that know at least some of your constrictor species, things like pythons and a lot of your colubrid species, rat snakes and racers and corn snakes and things like that, those are very smooth-scaled snakes. These guys are very keel-scaled. A lot of your rattlesnake species, a lot of your viper species in general is going to be very, very keel-scaled. Now, this one right here is just one of the ones that we got just the other day to put in the zoo. So it's, again, just talking about this little guy right here. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful snake. And I'll take you back and show you the green one here in just a second. Okay, now here's the green bush viper. Okay, so here's the green bush viper. If you can see him, his eyes are just as green as his body. There's yellow spots inside of there. This is an absolutely stunning snake. Even personally, I'm not a huge fan of the color green, but a lot of these green snakes really do stand out. They're absolutely beautiful. Now, this is not one we unboxed. We've had this one for a while. But I figured I'd show both colors since I was talking about the squam. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about it. I know we have a lot of venomous. We have the only training course of its kind on the whole eastern seaboard, but we don't ever talk that much about venomous snakes. There's enough idiots out here on YouTube doing a really, really bad job of showing people how to handle venomous snakes and getting lots and lots of views from it, doing really, really stupid stuff. So we're trying to avoid just some of the fitting into the routine. But we do want to show you some of these absolutely amazing, beautiful animals that's out there, including the venomous snakes of the world. And this one right here was just kind of one that was absolutely beautiful, and we enjoyed being able to get it in and unbox it. I mean, we've worked with them many, many times. We've had them many times and seen many, many of them. But this one right here is the first one that we've put inside of the zoo on exhibit itself. The first two, I guess I should say, both the yellow and the green. So we hope you've enjoyed this particular video on the squam, or the variable bush viper. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Make sure to hit the bell for notification. We appreciate you following along week after week after week. Our information will be in the description below for those that need to get in touch with us, whether for medical issues, whether for questions, or for just seeing what we have or questions about the zoo itself. We appreciate you again following along, and we will either see you here at the zoo or see you on the next episode. Later.